Alright guys, let's talk quick about a subject that I was asked to talk about, a subject that I have touched on before, one I don't think I've ever dedicated a specific video to. I was asked about, excuse me, a home health CNA. Now I was an HHA for several years, and a home health aide. I did it, and I worked with Beata. It is a great company. I can't say enough good things about them. I've worked for them as both a nurse and a CNA. Multiple times each way, actually. Great company, great to work with them. However, this video is basically about home health CNA. What's so good about it? What's so bad about it? So, number one, what is so good about it? What is the best thing about it? Is probably this is the easiest CNA job you will ever have. Not necessarily the easiest job you'll ever have, but the easiest CNA job you'll ever have, as most CNA jobs are very demanding. Workload is quite heavy. You're underpaid, underfunded. You have no staff, no supplies, things like this. And as a CNA, this is what happens. But in the world of home health aides, CNAs who work home health, you're typically one-on-one. And there's not a lot of supplies that you're going to need or run out of, as everything is typically at the house. So if you run out of sheets, just go get you another pair of sheets from the closet, or wash them, and redo them yourself. And so it's typically easier as a CNA to be at home than it is to be anywhere else, as everything you need is typically right there at the house. One negative to this is it is probably the lowest paying job that you can have as a CNA. As a CNA, you're not going to make a lot working in home health care. You're not going to make a lot in general as a CNA, but in home health, you're not going to make much at all. When I left home health as a CNA and went to the hospital as a CNA, I made $3.42 more an hour just from doing that switch from home to the hospital. So quite a bit of a difference there. However, if you can afford the difference, the job is much, much easier than it was at the hospital. I just couldn't afford it anymore, and I was going to school and really needed the extra finances. One thing about being a CNA or a home health CNA, you're going to learn your patients very well. You're going to do plenty of things with your patients, depending on what age group you are. They have from 0 to 120, or maybe, past that or before that. I don't know what the oldest home health person is. Peds to geriatrics and all the way up and in between. You're going to get to know these people. You're going to get, depending on your personality, you may get close to these people. I actually worked with a family one time that took their CNA on vacation with them, believe it or not. They got to spend the day or the week or whatever it was on vacation with their family. So yes, you're going to get to know your families, and to some people that's great, to some people that's not great. What's a negative about that is when you lose someone, which does happen. As you're in home health for a reason, you're not in home health because everybody is functioning and healthy. So it does happen that you do lose patients. Now, as a CNA, you're probably not going to be dealing with the tasks that a nurse would be dealing with. You're not going to be there for hospice, or if you are there for hospice care or palliative care, you're probably there just to feed them, whereas you'll probably join by a nurse who is on site at all times. But as the CNA, sometimes you do lose patients. I lost one myself in home health. It does happen. And when it does, you were definitely close with that person, and it's probably going to hit you harder than a normal setup, unless you just get really close with your residents at a long-term care facility or something. So that is definitely a negative, but positive. You get to know them quite well beforehand. You do a lot of things with these patients that normal CNAs don't get to do. You're probably going to go grocery shopping with these people. You're probably going to go take them to the barber to get their hair cut. If they have a van that needs tires, you'll probably go with them to get tires on that van. You'll probably be doing tasks with them that are mundane to normal people, but you will be doing your task with your patient. Living your daily life with this patient, and so it's a fun job. It is a great job. I thoroughly enjoyed it when I was my home health CNA, and I enjoyed home health nursing. If I was to leave my position now currently, I would go back to home health. definitely. And I would go back to Bowda again for like the 6th time or whatever it is. But yes, being a home health CNA is very rewarding. It's great. It's probably the easiest CNA job you'll have. Not an easy job, but the easiest CNA job you can ever have. Very, very fun, very interesting. You're going to learn a lot, especially about one particular person, especially if they have one disease process that you don't know a lot about. You're going to learn a lot about that disease process and going to have some good times doing it. And that's really it. You're still going to do your daily, checks, your toileting checks, feeding checks. If there's vitals to be got, you're going to get the vitals and report back to the nurse. There'll probably be an on-site nurse, not an on-site nurse, but like a nurse in the office that you just call and say, "Hey, nurse, this is what my findings are." But great, rewarding job. I did love it and did it for several years. And great times were had. However, one thing to note is if you do get yourself in trouble or in a bind, if you're picking somebody up or moving someone or something like that, you are by yourself. So that's a negative that there's really not a positive to. You are by yourself with that individual. So remember that if you have to pick them up or transfer them, it's you. Psych yourself out. Get yourself ready to move that individual. If you like that video, check this one out over here. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe over there. I hope it helps. Thank you much.